Alright everybody, it's gonna be like my first one and only video for Halo, probably. For any keyboard and mouse player, I just wanted to show you guys this when you're trying to find your sensitivity. I did a little bit of testing with a couple different DPIs from 400 to 3200, and what I found is anything above 1200 DPI seems to be the smoothest, and anything below that they're going to have like pixel skipping and jumping. And it seems to be also made worse or exacerbated by your FOV as well. So if you're a keyboard and mouse player, I would suggest playing around with this in a custom game, maybe some friends, and figure out what feels the best for you. So I'll show you in a demonstration here. So if you look at this dummy, and I'm slowly moving my mouse at 400 DPI, and you can see that it's skipping almost pixel by pixel. So when you're aiming, it's going to be jumping around, and you may actually, depending on how far away you are, that one little pixel could be hitting or missing somebody. Also, if you're on the max FOV, it's going to be a lot harder to see people, and if you're a keyboard and mouse player, you're not going to have aim assist, so you might actually want to drop that down. And as you can see, it zooms in a lot more. So this will make it easier to shoot people. So don't just assume to use 120 FOV, because that's probably not actually going to be the best. And especially if you're a keyboard and mouse player, I would probably use a lower FOV because you are able to move your mouse around a lot easier and get vision a little bit better. So probably something around default, maybe a little bit higher than default, 85 to 90 would probably be good. It'd give you enough vision, and it's going to make them not super far away. So just to show you the difference in this, so at 400 DPI we got pixel skipping and jumping, and if I just jump all the way up to 3200 DPI here, and I change my sensitivity to match, so 3200 DPI with a 1 multiplier would be about 0.4. So now I'm going to have the same sensitivity as I did at 400 DPI, but you can see how much smoother this is. There's almost no jumping at all. So it's extremely smooth. I can make circles on this guy. I can hop over to the other targets, pretty much pinpoint accuracy. And I'll switch back just to show you that again. So 400 DPI with a 1 multiplier would be about 3.2. Now if I just try to make circles, you can see I can't even make circles. It's more like a square. And if I try to jump over to this guy, it's going to be very jumpy. So you don't have to use my settings. Everything in the dark red is something, at least, I don't know if, I haven't looked into if you can edit the config files for different sensitivities, but 10 is the max. So anything that is dark red on that graph is, you can't have that sensitivity in game for whatever reason. Anything that's red or orange, you're going to have pixel skipping. 800 DPI, just to show you that. It's not too bad. So let's see. 1 would be 1.6. It's not terrible, but you will still notice it. At least I could notice it. And this is all at 1920, 1080. You can see there's still some. It's not as bad as 400, but it still makes a little bit of a square instead of being able to make a perfect circle. Anything above 1200, the blue, into the green, to 1600, 3200, I probably wouldn't go above 3200 DPI. 1200 isn't too bad. There's not a whole lot of pixel skipping with that. There's a tiny bit. So I would recommend anybody that's playing keyboard and mouse to do 1200 or above. And then you'll have to find an FOV that's comfortable for you, where you can still hit people, and a sensitivity itself that's comfortable, and you'll still be able to hit people. See, like, you can't really tell. 1200 and up's probably good. You can, there's a little bit of pixel skipping, but it's not too bad. On myself, I'm probably going to play at about 1600. And then, as well as that, the multiplier does not seem to affect the pixel jumping at all. As long as you make everything, as you can see in the edpi column, as long as you make everything match the same. If you have 8 sensitivity with 1600 DPI and a 0.1 multiplier, to me it does not feel any different than 0.4 sensitivity at 1600 DPI with a 2 multiplier. And I'll show you that really quick. Let's see, it's 1600 DPI. Green. We'll do 1600 at 8 with a 0.1 multiplier. So this, you can see there's barely any pixel skipping. I can make circles even at a low FOV. I don't know if I would play all the way this low. I just did that just to show you guys, but I'd probably play around like 90. But and then 0.4 at 2. So I personally cannot feel a difference in the smoothness between the multiplier being at 0.1 or 2, as long as you keep everything even with your edpi, your effective DPI. You should be fine. But I just figured that was a pretty interesting thing, because coming from CSGO, I always played at 400 to maybe 800 DPI, and that was it. And I was having a lot of issues with my mouse not feeling smooth when I started playing ranked. So just moving that back again to like, I guess I could try like 6 and see how bad that feels. You see, just see how much like it's super. You would never play at this sensitivity. You know what I mean? Like this is a little bit extreme, but you can see just how bad this pixel skipping is. This is actually probably the best way to show it. Again, I would suggest starting at 1200 DPI, 1600 DPI, or 3200 if you're playing Halo Infinite, not Reach, and see if that helps you out at all. Again, this is on 1920 1080, and also play around with your FOV. If you play at a max 120, it's going to be really zoomed out. You're going to be able to see a lot, and you might not get caught out in corners, but it's going to make it a lot harder to hit targets a lot further. So like if somebody was up here in the tower, you're going to have very, very pixel pinpoint accuracy to hit them. Whereas if you have the FOV lower, it's going to be a lot more zoomed in, and it's going to be easier to hit these people that are further away. So I hope this helps you guys. Good luck. Get your rank, get your onyx, all that good shit. I'm not good at making videos anyway. Peace out.